Hey guys, welcome back to releasethecraftin and welcome back to day 4 of the Goblin Mode Challenge. It's a hashtag rtcgoblinmode. All the information, including a playlist and inspiration, will be linked in the description box below. And today the prompt is leaves. And you guys, I'm not doing anything super special for this one. I just had like a very distinct idea of wanting to use these little like paper tea bags, and that was it. That was the entirety of my idea. Also, the goal is to use up some of the stickers in my prodigious sticker collection. So what we're going to do is struggle to cut apart these tea bags and then realize that there is a better way. And then add some ink down to our work surface. This is just a couple different colors of distress ink in browns and greens. And then I'm going to lay these out. I'm not actually worried about them being super perfectly dry because I'm going to come back and Mod Podge them anyways. So them already being wet is like a benefit. But I am going to spray them up a little bit just to grunge them up a little bit more, and then dry the part of the tea bag that I like sprayed because I don't want to get that ink all over the place, even though it is going to reactivate a little bit as we're Mod Podging it down, but it'll be fine. And then this project is literally the definition of trust the process. I almost gave up on it once I applied the tea bags to it because it didn't look the way that I thought it was going to look, and I had to wait till it became like completely dry before I was like, oh yeah, this was exactly what you were envisioning. You just had no patience. So I'm just gonna add some of these nice big leaves to this scrapbook paper. If I had been smarter, I would not have used green on green, but I did. So it is what it is. If you do this yourself, maybe try a different background color than your leaves. And then I'm just going to add some random stamping of some script to the background just to add some little like visual interest, a little bit of texture. I'm going to be very, very generous with my Mod Podge because I want it to seep into both sides of this tissue paper, because the goal is to get this, not tissue paper, this tea paper, the goal is to get this tea paper to be translucent at the end of it, and to just get the texture of having the tea paper and the color that we applied to it instead of the actual texture here. You can see this is the point where I went, oh, this isn't going to work. You fucked up. You have to come up with a different project for this challenge. But that wasn't the case, because once it dried, they look great. I think they actually look better on camera than they do in person, but it might just be my, like, piss poor eyesight. But it is what it is. So what I was thinking was that since this is a goblin-y themed challenge, and goblins do dwell in nature where the leaves are, that they might keep a couple of samples of, you know, their favorite leaves and stuff, and eventually remember that they have to hit the focus button to make it refocus, but they'll get to it, don't worry. So I thought it would be really cool to sort of trap these leaves underneath this tea paper. It gives it a really cool texture with the Mod Podge also. So they're kind of leathery feeling, almost like, you know, it was the original texture of the paper. I think also too, the paper that I used has like a canvas texture to it, so that also helped with the effect, but it comes out really grungy and really great looking, and they make a really great background, but I didn't want them to, like, I didn't want to put anything on top of the leaves because the leaf is the prompt, so I wanted that to be the focus of the tag. So I just came back through with some of these nature words, forest nature words, I forget what it's called. It's a kit from my shop, but I've never used it, so we're using it for this project. But I wanted to just add these over the top and keep everything very, very simple. So ipso facto, that's what you see here, because I wanted the leaves to be the star of the show. And I think, yeah, you can see them pretty well on camera. I think they look the best on camera, but in person they still look really good. And then I wanted to sort of amp up the leafy effect by using some of this aged brass wax and a stencil with leaf patterns on it to sort of layer in the leaves, so it has this sort of like fallen leaf effect, because it does look like leaves on the forest floor. So I really love how this came out. And I think adding in the brass was like the right idea, because it adds a little bit of like layering. It's still a little bit see-through, so you can still see some of that texture and stuff behind it, but it also adds like a fun little sparkly element. And you guys know how I feel about shiny things. And you also know how goblins feel about shiny things. So I think this was right up the alley, the right idea. Also, it's just really fun to do. So I would definitely suggest trying this out, and then just adding in these layers, and then, you know, if you're doing a different type of journal, you can always add a different focal point on top of that, but have a really nice background. But I do like the way that this looks with these tags sort of standing on their own, these leaves living there as the little center point of our tags. And then I'm going through really quickly and punching in 2 holes so that I can tie a bow to the front of these tags instead of just tying a thread through them. So I'm going to hopefully cut away and not make you watch me punch all of these holes in. Okay, there we go. Goodness. And then we're just gonna string some like fun fibers and stuff through to get a really cool textural effect to add to the texture of these. And I think that's like the really fun part about these tags, is that they're very textural. There's a bunch of different layers visually and like tactilely, physically, of texture that you get with these, and you get different effects with that too. But I don't want to stop there. We're gonna add another layer of leafy effect because this is the leaf prompt, and I'm going to come back through and add some leaf charms to all of these, and you're probably going to watch me struggle with some of these leaf charms because for some reason the solid leaf charms that I have are like magnetized, and they kept sticking to my scissors and everything else, like all my tools, and it was a very frustrating process, but they're going to make their appearance here pretty soon. I hope that you guys are crafting along with me or following the hashtag to see the stuff that everybody is making. Don't forget, if you are making stuff, to join this challenge, to use the hashtag so I can see what you make. If I am not commenting on your stuff, I am not seeing your stuff. And you definitely want to make sure that I'm seeing your stuff so that you can be entered into the giveaway at the end of this challenge. But yeah, we're just going to come back through and do some really quick, just like charm work to add a fun like additional element of leaves. And I do think that these look like the forest floor, and I do like all the different layers of leaves. It was really an interesting task because I only had the idea of using the tea paper in mind and nothing else. So I had to sort of build from there, and this is the result, and I'm very happy with how these came out. They're delightfully grungy and textural and just fun, despite all the frustration those little solid leaves give me. And I will, I do believe I do. I don't just saying that because I do. Here we go. Show you like better close-ups, clearer versions of what we have made. And then I threw them down like leaves because that is my character type. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one, you guys. Make sure that you join us tomorrow for day 5 of the Goblin Mode Challenge, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Until then, that's going to be it for me. I appreciate your faces. Happy crafting. Bye!